Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to the fifth and final stage of the 70th Volta la Comunidad Valenciana, the tour of the Valencian region. Alejandro Valverde, as popular as ever, will be wearing the orange jersey for the combined classification today, so no rainbow stripes, as Geraint Thomas looks to finish strongly with Team Sky. So far they don't have anything really from this week's race. So this was the start in Paterna just about half an hour ago, on the edge of town, very close to the Valencian Football Club training ground and the airport. But that's the port ahead, looking out towards the Mediterranean Sea on a cloudy afternoon. And this is how it stands going into the final stage. Jonis Aguirre of Astana set to win the Tour of Valencia ahead of Alejandro Valverde by 7 seconds. Pello Bilbao, Aguirre's teammate, is on the same time and lies in third. Well, we had an early attack of 3 riders. 4 have gone up the road, and there is a 4-man breakaway, but with just 1 minute and 5 seconds of a gap. The biggest gap they've had has been 2 minutes 20 seconds. The sprinters teams not really wanting to let this opportunity go. They want to keep everything in contact and very much in check. 34 seconds for the breakaway 4. Peloton chasing behind, but you can see that there are quite narrow roads here in town. Barriers placed inside. Good crowds around. And we've been seeing some of the city sites. We talked about the City of the Arts and Sciences. Popular and interesting to look at, but not universally popular amongst locals. We've seen Turia Park as well. Hopefully we'll get another good look at that from the air. Named after the river which was diverted. Flooding on the flat plains and rice plains around here back in the day. And we're heading into what will be the finish when we get there. Local laps to come first, so make a note of all of these turns as the sprint teams will be doing. There's the old bull ring. And that turn with just 150 metres to go. They haven't made it simple for the couple of sprint stages, have they, Brian?
No. Possession will be key. So they've got 5 laps now, 7 kilometres, and everybody will know it. They'll know what they have to do, but for the time being it's the GC contender teams that are up towards the front. But a lot of these sprinters teams, it will be all about positioning, and you need all your firepower. I know that Jumbo-Visma never had all the firepower to help Groenewegen into Alicante because they had to chase to get him back, and he was on his own, and it made a huge amount of difference because he finished just outside the top 10. But today they have to get it right. You can just see them on the right hand side in the yellow, just having a little bit of a look. Tony Martin there, just a little bit of chatter. Normally when the pressure's not on, they'll talk about it. This is where we want to be, in the left hand side, the right hand side. This is, you know, we have to be at the front here. So you can just see them having a look around to make sure that they've got it into their head.
A look behind there from the Russian rider Kurbatov, wondering how long they've got to keep riding for. Well, they want to keep them there a while yet, won't they, the sprint teams?
Yeah, I don't think they've got a choice now, because they just want to keep the tempo up, keep Groenewegen safe. We've seen the GC contenders, they were the riders that did the damage, just want to keep the GC contenders safe. But you see a lot of the all 4 riders in this breakaway, they're starting to grimace a little bit. Although it's on a short stage, the pressure's been on. They've been riding it fast, and they thought they'd be given a bit more rope, and they haven't. They've been given 2.5 minutes, but out in the course today with the winds, the GC contenders coming up, putting the pressure on a little bit, not to chase these riders down, because the best placed is over 8 minutes. But it's been a tough day and a fast day so far.
Second crossing of the finish line there. Maybe the graphics department were out having an afternoon coffee. Bit of paella maybe. 4 laps to go in the meantime. They're catching them, and at the front they're tiring.
It's always a problem when you know, one of the bikes is in the centre, very difficult to get it off. Normally you get the team leaders' bikes on the outsides, and Jay Thompson's unfortunately is in the middle there. The sports director, Bingan Fernandez, was out there, Victor, the mechanic. So Jay will hopefully get back to help out Bosenhagen.
So the break about to be caught, but Asja de Zelle Mondial, who don't really have a sprinter at this race, are on the attack again. Steen van den Berg had won this stage 2 years ago. He and his men sending somebody else up the road with 13 kilometres remaining. So the first break gone, and Jumbo-Visma are going to have a job on their hand to stop these attacks towards the end today and set up that sprint. Dylan Groenewegen has plenty of opposition, though. There's the likes of Christophe, Colbrelli, Mesgets and Trentin. Well, Duval is taken back. Sky move up on the right-hand side. Now, will it be Swift or Lawless they'll have a go with today? They've had a go on a couple of occasions with Swift. Dimension Data will most likely have another go with Edvald Boasson today, given that Nizzolo has gone home. We're into the final 2 kilometres now as we look at it, and it's rather scrappy, it's rather messy. Not too many teams up there with bodies together.
No, not at all. Gone are the days where you have the big lead out, the teams at the front. They're all getting pretty scrappy, these ones, but Groenewegen still up there. Oh, a crash in the middle.
And a crash, several riders down. In the meantime, we have Cofidis at the front. Oh, and there's Trentin in the way. Lots of riders on the left-hand side, and lots of bodies and names out of this. Edvald Boasson is still involved, as, of course, is Luca Mesgets, who's on the wheel at the moment of Matteo Trentin. We look behind at the crash, but all the action happening at the front in the final few hundred metres now. Buani is in the perfect position coming into the final corner. Christophe still there as well. Buani is there. Buani to be led out now in the centre. Buani in the perfect position right now. Mesgets is there as well. Mesgets and Trentin going together. There is the final corner now. Mesgets who's going to lead Trentin into it. Mesgets at the front, the Slovenian star. There it is. 100 metres to go now. There's Mesgets for Mitchelton Scott, and Trentin is going to come around him looking for win number 2. Christophe behind. It's Trentin all the way to the line. Oh, wow. It looked as though Groenewegen on the left-hand side came from nowhere. So much work to do for Team Jumbo. And we saw Sky taken out there with Chris Lawless. Geraint Thomas is one of those riders who've gone down as well. But finally, after a very, very messy job that was started well by Jumbo-Visma, from absolutely nowhere, Dylan Groenewegen came round 3 big sprint names, snatching the win on the line. He's off the mark. Team Jumbo are off the mark. Behind, the road's left some marks. Chaos at the end of the Vuelta a la Comunidad Valenciana. But victory to Dylan Groenewegen, and this is how he pulled it off. He left it very late, Brian.
He had to really work for that one. You can just see a blanket finish in the middle. You can see Trentin, Christophe, Bahani was just behind, but it was just that momentum. When we're looking at it, we were thinking, you know, Groenewegen a little bit too far back, but that's why he won so many stages of the Tour last year. He is super quick, especially inside the last 100 metres, and I think he's pretty much, you know, unbeatable inside the last 100 metres. He's got such a kick.
And this is how it happened. It'd be good to get a full look at it, because we were back watching the crash for much of this lead-out.
Well, Mesgets done a great job for Trentin. Christophe was right up there, but just look at Groenewegen. He's not panicking at all. He's just surfing the wheels. We can see him doing this so many times. He just moves out on the right-hand side now. Mesgets is looking after Trentin looks back, decides he's got to go now, but just look at the power of Groenewegen. He just fires past some of the best sprinters in the world, really, really late, as you say. But to come past Bahani, Trentin and Christophe when they're going full gas, this boy, it's something special, and we've seen it last year in the Tour de France.
A huge turn of speed. All top names to the fore here in Valencia. And on the top of the podium overall, this man, for the first time since he won the Tour of Poland in 2015, Jon Izagirre. What a signing, eh? A bit like when you sign a new striker and he scores on his debut. Jon Izagirre has brought home a big victory. And Astana are on the mark for the season. So Jon Izagirre takes the overall. Dylan Groenewegen, the winner of the final stage from Paterna to Valencia. Groenewegen, Christophe, Trentin, with Mesgets, Buani, Gazzoli, Enger, Colbrelli, Boasson and Lonardi all in the top 10. All that means that these are the final results. Jon Izagirre winning the Vuelta a la Comunidad Valenciana ahead of Alejandro Valverde by 7 seconds. Bilbao finishes in third. It's an all-Spanish podium with Dan Martin, the best of the rest, in fourth. Dylan turns finishing in 5th place, and Adam Yates the best Brit.